Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right, Loy Machedo here, personal branding coach and consultant who helps people get jobs in Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East, and also who provides one-to-one consultation for personal and professional matters. If you noticed, this is my new introduction, so that is why I'm stuttering a little bit. so, and yeah, so for any business inquiries, check description down below. Having said that, let's move on to the topic. So that'll be my new introduction, which anyway I thought you should know about. This will be the standard that I'm going to follow from today onwards, because even I need to improve just like you guys. Okay. So today's topic that I'm going to share with you, and yeah, before I do move into the topic, let me know what do you think of this introduction. Is it good? Okay, average? And if it's average, or if just give me what do you suggest to make it better? Don't just say, yeah, it's crap. Okay, it's bad. How do you make it better? That would actually be much better and more, uh, more helpful rather than just, this is bullshit. Yeah, and then give me something better, specific. Okay, don't say, yeah, make it better. Make it better how? Be specific. Okay, let's move on. The topic that I want to speak to you about is today about free advice. You see, plenty of people give free advice. What is the impact of free advice being online? Now, you have people who give free advice, loved ones, family members, mother, father, brother, sister, elder brother, whatever. They'll give you advice. And they give you advice on God, relationships, love, marriage, career. Okay, that is one. The second one is advice that you get from YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or wherever. Now, TikTok, you should never take it seriously. Instagram is a joke. Okay, Instagram and TikTok. But if you do take from YouTube, okay, which advice or from whom should you take? Okay, so I'll cover this topic today in this video. Now, first and foremost, try to understand this much. This is family, this side, and this side is YouTube and people who make a living selling advice. Now, when you're talking of the people who are family members and all that, I generally tell people, listen, they are people who love you, they are people who care about you. The intention is good, but the practicality of the advice that they give you is highly questionable. Okay. Let's say, for example, I'll give you a small example. Let's say a mother tells you, your mother loves you, and she tells you, Beta, my son or my daughter, oh, my darling, my love, you want to improve or become better in life. Pray to God, huh? Pray to God. Every day in the morning, pray to God. Now, that is a well-intentioned piece of advice. But if you look at it practically, I mean, you can't tell someone, if you want to improve or solve your problems, pray to God. It's like telling Elon Musk, listen, you want to launch the rocket successfully, pray to God, huh? If you pray, the rocket will go zoo like this. Okay, so, or another one is, there are a piece of advice that parents have given. Why don't you get married? Then your problems will sort out. No, after you get married, your problems become worse. Okay. Or parents generally say, uh, become a doctor, become an engineer, without evaluating the person's ability to learn or evaluate or the interest in the particular subject. Now, that doesn't mean all the advice that they give is bad. There are some times where their advice is also good. For example, if someone says, I want to be a YouTube star, okay, I want to be like Mr. Beast, or I want to be Shah Rukh Khan, I want to be like Michael Jordan of the basketball, or whatever, Kobe Bryant, or whichever basketball player is, I'm not very much into it. Or I want to be a billionaire like Elon Musk. or Jeff Bezos. Now, over there, if your parents say, listen, I appreciate that you show me little progress first. You want to be, let's say, Sachin Tendulkar, at least show me being number one in your school. Number one, over there as a number one player. If you can't achieve that, then forget the Sachin Tendulkar thing or being the number one there. So there are certain areas where parents are true, but where expertise is concerned is highly questionable unless your parent or parents have experience in that area. For example, if they are doctors and they have experience. Why is my this scene on? Sorry, it's my Galaxy Ultra, that very big. This one, super big one. Yeah, sorry, it's on. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so so this is the part which you need to understand is if they are doctors and they advise you about being a doctor, fine, that makes sense. If they're engineers and they advise you about engineering, that makes sense. But if they are advising you on your career path without having achieved excellence in that, then it's highly questionable. And even engineer, let's say, for example, they're saying how to be a successful engineer, but they were only at a very small level, earning a very small salary, then you have to question their intelligence or their capacity to guide you. So that is parents, and remember this: your uncle, your aunt, your brother, your sister, those people who love to give advice, they generally give you advice because they want to show you, I'm better than you, I know more than you are lower level, I am the expert, and they love the sound of their own voice. Okay, so those are people you should keep away from because they only give you lip service. Actions, if you actually ask them, like, can you actually recommend me in your company by speaking to your manager to get me an interview or a job? Most probably they'll say no. If you tell them, can you actually lend me X amount of money for my education since you're such a well-wisher? They'll say no. They'll just give you free words. So keep away from them. Okay. Now comes a YouTube or these online influencers. Just remember this much. All these YouTubers, including me also, and all these are, we do it with an agenda in mind. And our agenda is we need to make a living, we need to make money. Okay. None of us, me included, are doing it for charity. None of us. We are doing it for some selfish agenda. Even Mr. Beast, if he does a video, 1,000 people got their eyesight back. He's doing it for views. He's doing it because he wants to reach the highest number of subscribers, and he has an agenda. If there was zero views, if nobody was watching, if he wouldn't make any money out of it, he wouldn't do it. So I need you to understand this much, that all of us YouTubers, influencers, or coaches, we are doing it because it's a business and we have our agenda. My agenda is very simple. I don't know about others, but I'll tell you mine. It is to provide a service and charge money. Okay, that is how my agenda. Now, where you need to be careful about YouTubers and these influencers is where they make it sound like it's like, wow, you can achieve 7-figure income, you can be a millionaire, billionaire, you can change your life today. Just click on that link below. Come to my master class. Okay, and then they give you a pre-recorded session. That's not going to help you. And these courses, which they design and make, is nothing but reading 20 books or 30 books, taking one chapter or one line from each one, elaborating and talking about it, making it a module, and then selling it to you. And most, I can assure you, because I've done quite a number of these courses, almost all of them is the information you can get free online, and it's very, very generic. For example, even someone whom I thought was great, like Neil Patel, was great in terms of SEO. I genuinely, at the beginning of my career, when I came to Thailand here, I thought he really would help, and I coughed up $1,000 to take his course because I really thought he really meant what he said. Because you can check his videos, Neil Patel, online. He gives some interesting nuggets. But his course, what he did was he had around 40 modules or something, and all of them were just dragging. Like each one is 45 minutes. what is marketing, what is branding, what are the 5 principles of marketing, how is sales, what are the principles of sales. It was like me going to 10th standard class and listening to my business management. And literally halfway through, after nearly a month, I realized he's just wasting my time and dragging it. There's nothing. And generic stuff like make YouTube videos, write blogs, interact with people, network with people, just, generic statements. So none of these courses are going to help you. None, not a single. They will give you real world problems like the educational system that you follow. There's no guarantee. There is no guarantee if you even if you have a degree, you'll not get a job. All these statements are true. There's too much of competition. 9 to 5 life. There is no future there. They'll give you generic statements which will say, "Yeah, man, 9 to 5 is tough. There's no life here. I work so hard. I'm only making my boss rich. I'm not becoming rich. I'm making the owner rich." So these are universally yes statements to get you to say yes. But then the solution is not him, which he likes to portray. Another character, his name is Vishen Lakyani. He will tell you, do you want to harness luck? Do you know that this lady was so lucky? And after he gives you all the examples, he immediately will tell you the solution is sign up for my course. Join me in this, and I'll give you all this master class and all that. The end result is what? Take you down the sales funnel and charge you money. And they'll give one course which they created. They'll market it to 10,000 people. Oh, sorry. They'll market it to 10,000 people. Let me put this on mute. Give me a second. And after they give it to 10,000 people, they recover their investment. So that is how it operates. Now, the third category is people like me who charge you money based on the project or the time. Now, I'm not going to say that, oh, we are the best. No, but there's a difference. The difference is because I charge per project, the project has to be delivered. It's like, for example, you pay someone for a website. You have to pay him X amount of money. He has to deliver the website. Otherwise, you're not going to pay him. In my case, I charge by the hour and I give them a lump sum. The reason I keep it fixed is because I personally do not like to drag just because something can be done in 1 hour. Making it for 3 hours does not make any sense. Yeah, I can earn $1,000 1 hour, $1,000 to. So instead of $1,000, I can charge him for 5 sessions. So $5,000 or 10, I can make $10,000. Number one is people are not dumb. Number two is people don't have that kind of money. Number three is if I cheat someone and take them for a ride, you can be rest assured he'll go and tell maybe 20 friends of his, and that 20 will multiply, and then there's no way to ensure damage control. Better than that, be honest, be upfront, be truthful, and have a good relationship. That is the end goal that at least I have. Okay, so now coming to choosing a professional. Now the question is, how do you choose a professional? How do you choose a coach? How do you choose a mentor? How do you choose someone? I told you no for the family. I told you no for these YouTubers and who have large followings. Okay, people like me, how do you actually choose who? There are six points that I've thought of. Maybe if there's more, I'll put one more. Number one, which is the most important, is qualification. Now you'll be like, Loy, you don't have your college dropout. I'll come to that. Okay. And school dropout. Okay. Qualification is very important because if you're dealing with someone, let's say technical, you want to get into engineering and you want to succeed in the engineering industry, but the guy doesn't know a thing about engineering. He has not studied engineering. He knows nothing about engineering. He cannot help you. So qualifications is important. Education does hold value. I'm totally against to those people who say a college education is a waste. No, depending on which college, depending on what you study, depending on its application. We can't throw all the college institutions under the bus. like Valuetainment and all these other people. Oh, I was a school dropout, but I made millions. No, those are one rare people. There are many other people who are dropouts in schools and colleges. They have not made anything out of life. Okay, and there are many people who went through college, and because of the college education, they have a job. Okay, so you cannot discount. Now, coming to me, the fact is, I don't have a degree. But even if I did have a degree, let's say I had, for example, business administration, I don't think my degree would have helped you. It's like, for example, uh, there are people who literally have, I know individuals who have a medical degree, who have an engineering degree, or who have, let's say, marketing or sales, and they are not doing anything related to this. Like my ex girl, she went to study to be a doctor, I think 6 years in Romania. When she came, she found out that it was not recognized in UAE, that university. And now she is doing sales for a totally sales and customer service for a technical company. Do you think her degree is of any use? No, it's not relevant. In the same way, a person who does engineering, but today he's in the entertainment industry. I have one client of mine who did engineering, but he is into events. Engineering has nothing got to do with events. So even if I did get a business management degree, which most probably I would have if I wanted to, I would have completed it at 26 years ago, nearly 30 years ago, which is outdated. So it wouldn't serve you any purpose. So the first one is qualification is important. You must ensure that the person you're speaking to is qualified. But where education is concerned, is it relevant to what you're doing? A person can have a PhD in, let's say, religion. There are some PhDs in certain religions or PhD in literature. But if you're doing, let's say, dancing, not related, right? So maybe bodybuilding, okay, physiology, that can be applicable. So find out, first is qualification. The second one is expertise. By expertise is how many years have you dedicated to that craft? Let's say I want to study MMA, mixed martial arts. And this guy has dedicated in MMA. He himself is a fighter. He knows Muay Thai. He knows bodybuilding. He knows Muay Thai. He knows wrestling. He knows boxing. He knows jiu-jitsu. So he has spent years in all this. So he does have knowledge. Like, for example, bodybuilding and powerlifting. I've spent quite a number of years, but I don't advertise that. But if anyone were to ask me about bodybuilding, powerlifting, or the steroids that are being used, I can give them my experience. Okay, that forms my expertise in that area. Okay, so that is one thing you have to look at. Or let's say you're a football or cricket coach. You may not be the number one batsman or number one football player, but if you actually have played the game and you learned the game and you've been in it, you can guide someone. Okay, my first coach, who was in track and field coach, he was not a champion runner, but he knew the fundamentals of exercise, and he really shaped me for what I was in the last 3 years before I left school. So he was really good. So that part is important. He had theory and practical knowledge. Okay. Number three is experience. Now, experience comes to working with others. I told you, that my physical teacher, PT sir, he worked with plenty of students and he helped them improve. I give you the MMA coach. Let's say before he was an amateur, but he was not a world champion, but he has trained many other people. He can definitely help you get better. I had an Olympic coach for triathlon, running, swimming, and cycling. He had been trained for the Olympics for that, but he never qualified, okay, because competition was too great or maybe he didn't have the money. But he has trained many, many people over the years. He had a resume of 15 years of training pro athletes and working with them. So he was good enough for me. So number three is the experience part. Like for me, my expertise of being as a personal branding guy was 26 years. I started the journey from the age of 20. And in terms of experience of taking it as a full-time job, it has been 16 years. Okay. Number four is, can they show you a track record of any sort? Some people They show these are my clients. Some people like to show, recommendations on their website. And then there are people like me who literally show you by using the same principles on themselves. Like when I say about personal branding, you need to stand out. You see me, you'll never forget me. I stand out. I tell them that you have to be good at speaking. I've had years and years of public speaking experience, and I'm known in the Toastmaster circles of those people who know me. And I've won. You can see all the boxes at their top 800 trophies, prizes, certificates, this, that, whatever. So I have implemented this. And that also coming from a poor family where I didn't have any guidance, where I didn't know how to speak. My English was more like South Indian English, and I didn't know how to stand and speak. I used to stutter and stammer. So from there to where I am today, and I make a living out of it. So I can show you in terms of real world performance. So if someone talks a big game but can't back it up, let's say someone talks very big about bodybuilding, about strength training, but he doesn't have any experience. Okay, maybe his body is thin because now he's retired, but he doesn't have any track record. He can't prove it to you by any means that he has done weights. Then no. Number 5 is the person doing it as a hobby? Is he doing it as part time or is he doing it full time? The person who does it as a hobby will means he might just do one person or one client in a week because he doesn't have the time. Person who takes it part time after working hours, he might work with 3 people or 4 people in a week. But the person who does it full time, maybe he'll take 3 people per day or 4 people per day. So now, given that one guy is working 1 person a week, second one is working 3 persons a week, last one is working like 21 people a week, who do you think has a better grasp of the subject, who has invested more of his uh, time, money, effort, creativity, and who can really guide you? The person who does more. Okay. So always remember, evaluate the person who you're taking advice from. Is he doing it as a hobby? Is he doing it as a part time? Or is he doing full time? Even people who give you advice in terms of your resume, personal brand, whatever, are they doing it just because they have a big position? They feel they can advise anyone? I've met many people like that because they have a good position and they got lucky there, right person, right place, right time. They think they can give advice to anyone and everyone because they're high and mighty up there. Okay. But I can assure you this much. If they lost their job and they were to try to get something, they would not succeed because they just proved to be lucky at the right place, right time. That is why so many people, after they lose their top position as a top dog, find it very hard to survive. So go with someone not who does it as a hobby, but who does it as full time. And last, if not the least, the skin in the game. Always remember, if someone were to give you advice about business or you have a new partner in your business, but he has no skin in the game, he's not put his real money, he has not put his time, his effort, he has not invested himself in it, he'll never be bothered whether it succeeds or fails because it doesn't pain him that much if it fails. For me, in the work I do, I take each customer and client very personally. Why? Because it's my livelihood. I cannot fail. And if I'm not able to deliver, I I I take it very personally. That is why I never overpromise. I underpromise, but I overdeliver, and I never give misleading statements or facts which just don't make sense. Like I'll never take money. There are many coaches who say, "I guarantee you will get, recognition, this and that. I guarantee you'll get a job." There are many people who like to portray, and there are many people who lie. I know there's one female who's online who does a CV. Someone just tagged my name and said, Loy can help you get a good CV. And I think she's very active in that group. She's like, who the hell is he? And what the hell can he do? I didn't respond. I didn't want it to be confrontational, but the work I saw, she had a website and all that. She was based in Dubai. I saw everything was copy paste. I saw the templates. I recognized where she got it from. I was just like, no need to expose her. Fine. She thinks she's high and mighty. Okay. She's a housewife. So her husband is doing well. So for her, it doesn't matter. But for me, I take it very personally and I have to make sure that this succeeds. So, and because my life, my brand, it means so much to me, more than life itself, I make sure that every job that I do is 100%. So go with someone who has the skin in the game. So I hope this video kind of sums up who should you take advice from, why should you take or shouldn't you take advice from somebody, what is the difference between free advice and paid advice, and the difference between the so-called online coaches and people who do it one-to-one or charge you per hour. So let me know what are your thoughts with regards to this video. And yeah, what did you think of my new introduction? I'd love to hear your points of view. This is me signing off. You guys take care. So.